Welcome back. This is my second book review for today. It's, I think, going to be the last book review for today, so we'll just have two book reviews for today. I do hope to start getting out more book reviews. Not all my book reviews will be about pagan books or Wiccan books, and by that I mean informational books like, Raymond Buckland, Scott Cunningham, Starhawk, things like that. I will also be reviewing other books. I've decided to do books that may have a pagan bent, like my previous video, The Mist of Avalon, and this next book also. But I do read a lot more books other than just pagan books. I know it doesn't look like it here because most of these books are pagan books, except for that bottom two rows. But I actually have a whole nother bookcase about the same size in the other room full of other books. Absolutely nothing to do with paganism. I don't know. I haven't decided if I'm actually going to do reviews on like some of the history books I have as well. Probably not. Probably not. Because I don't read them in the same way that I do novels and books like these. So some of those other books will be novels. I do read a lot of book series. Right now, I'm in the middle of a series. I think it's called the Dark series, at least on this author's website. I call it the Carpathian series because it's about Carpathians. And it's a nice vampire series. My favorite one is Sherilyn Kenyon's Dark Hunter series. So I will do reviews on that too. I will not do reviews on all the books in the series. I will pick out some of my favorite ones and I'll review those. Or at least give a little brief synopsis of those, if I don't do like a review kind of thing. Begin to this book. So this book is also by Miriam Zimmer Bradley, and this is called Firebrand. And this is a lot more bedraggled than the Mist of Avalon book. A lot more wear and tear on this one. I've had the Mist of Avalon longer. I've actually read the Mist of Avalon first, and then my next book by her was Firebrand. Firebrand is a shorter book, as it is about 590 some odd pages. Yeah, 590 some odd pages. Mist of Avalon is 800 and some odd pages. So, Firebrand is about well, I don't want to say the Trojan War because it starts long before that. But basically, it's about the Trojan War. It takes place, well, I'm not going to say takes place because it actually does move from locale to locale. But the majority of it takes place in Troy. And the narrator of this book is Cassandra, who is actually one of my favorite people in pertaining to the Trojan War, simply because I relate to her so well. I'll always tell people stuff too, and no one listens to me. But this actually starts before Cassandra's birth. It starts with, I think, Hecuba. Again, it's been a long time since I've read this book. This book actually has some water damage on it, so I'm not thrilled about that. I think it starts, yeah. No, it's not Hecuba. Well, it doesn't, okay, it doesn't start with Hecuba, but a good part of it is narrated. The beginning, early part is narrated by Hecuba, who is queen of Troy. So she's married to King Priam, and this is actually before the birth of Cassandra and Paris, who were twins. Now, what I like about this, what is significant about this book is the role of women and how you see the role of women transform over the years from the beginning of this book. Hecuba, as far as this book concerns, is an Amazon. She comes from the Amazon tribe. And so she is used to either women ruling or at least co-ruling with the male, but mainly a matriarchal society. However, Priam is coming from a more patriarchal society, and you see the progression of patriarchal society throughout this book. Once you do make it to Cassandra, you find out, how she was able to have her visions, why it turned out that she could no one would believe the vision she would see. And if you have read any Greek mythology pertaining to this, you would know that she was given this gift by Apollo. Apollo had fallen in love with her. She had spurned his advances, and because of that, he cursed her to be able to foresee the future, but for no one to ever believe what she says. At least that's one of the tales. So you see Cassandra become a priestess in this book. She becomes a servant to more than one deity. You do see her travel with the Amazons, as her aunt is an Amazon. Her aunt is in here anyway. I honestly can't remember in the Greek mythology aspect if that was how it was portrayed as well. But in here, Cassandra's aunt is Penthesilea, who is at this point a leader of an Amazon tribe. And she is sister to Hecuba. So for a while, she's sent away. I forget why she's sent away, but that's neither here nor there. Really, just read the book to find that part out. But she's sent away to stay with the Amazons for a while. And during that time, she really comes into her own. She realizes that she doesn't need a man in her life. So any man would be a want, not a necessity. I will say there are some traumatic moments in this book. There is a rape scene in this book, and it was one I was totally not prepared for, and it was rather traumatizing. So be aware of that if you do read this book. It is only one instance, which is later on in the book, far later in the book. However, it's still a very traumatic event. So I just want to forewarn. You see Cassandra become a very strong and powerful priestess. This book, much like The Mists of Avalon, again, at certain instances, does deal with the idea of perception and what your faith is, or what your belief is what is the driving force to how you view a particular event. And I'm going to give this, I am going to give this example. And if you have read the Iliad or, well, I don't think I've really read anything other than the Iliad as far as the Trojan War is concerned. I've read books pertaining to after the Trojan War, but the Iliad, if you've read the Iliad, you know there's a battle scene in which Paris is fighting Menelaus, and he's not doing well. Also, if you saw the movie Troy, you would know that, which was an awesome movie, but neither here nor there. In the Iliad, Aphrodite comes down and saves Paris, as he's her favored champion in this war. She comes down, saves Paris, sweeps him off of the battlefield, and returns him home, which is not what happens in that is not how it goes down in the movie Troy. But in this book, there's a similar scene. However, it is Cassandra who saves Paris. She does call on the aid of the goddess. I believe she does actually specify Aphrodite, but she does call on the aid of the goddess to help her save her brother. And she's on the wall as she's doing this, asking for help. And what people see or how they view the event is based upon their faith and their perception of things. So some actually sees Aphrodite come down and sweep him off. Others see basically Cassandra's doing whatever to distract, and a rope is dropped down and they whisk Paris up off the battlefield. So again, you get that sense of perception from Marion Zimmer Bradley. But definitely recommend this book. It was a great read. I've read it several times. I do suggest it. I do want to warn again.
Hey, Mommy.
There is a rather disturbing scene that takes place. Your face is so dirty, baby. There's a rather distressing scene that takes place in this book, so be aware of it.
I can buzz up to this zone.
You can, you?
Yeah, I
All
can.
right. Why don't you go finish watching Dora?
Do you want to see my new trick?
No, I want you to go finish watching Dora.
Okay, it's off.
I know.
Well, can you get
So,
more?
again, sorry for the interruption, but... yes, baby, I will. Go inside, and I'll go turn it on. So, thank you for watching.
Mama, can I hear that white thing?
See you later. Blessed be.